Yeah, because it's one of the most important aspects of running like a bookkeeping business, or just a business in general, right? It's like we want to make sure that the business honors God and it's something that, God would be proud of, right? Because there's a lot of different ways that you can make money in this world, and not every single one of them is going to be honorable. Not every single one of them is going to be, pleasing God. So I think this one, the business models, is actually one of the most foundational to living a biblical life. So I do think that bookkeeping is a worthy endeavor in that case. Now, what if growing your business did not mean compromising your values? Like in this video, you'll learn how to grow your bookkeeping business in a way that honors God every step of the way, right? So it's a different kind of growth, right? Because the world teaches hustle, pressure, and like self-promotion, right? But if you think about it, God teaches service, stewardship, and trust. And you don't have to follow the world's formula to succeed. So I was talking to one of the students in my mentorship program today, and she was like, "There's so many things I should be doing. Like, I feel like I can't spend time with my kid because then, like, that means I'm not really giving time to my business. And like the world says, like I should be doing this, I should be working 80 hours a week in my business. Like, well, first of all, there's so many different ways that the world kind of makes people feel bad about where they currently are, and it constantly kind of makes you feel like you're not living up to some kind of random standard, right? But it's not necessarily a standard that God will hold you to. Now, principle number one, serve, don't sell. Now, this can be a little bit misleading when I'm thinking of serve, not sell, I mean, you want to offer value without feeling like you're pushing or forcing people to do something they don't want to do. By all means, like you have to do the activity of sales, but don't feel like you have to bully people into doing stuff they don't want to do. So I would really focus on genuinely seeing how you can help clients, number one. Number two, start learning how to build relationships over transactions. A lot of times what I see is like a lot of accountants and bookkeepers, the first thing is, how do I get clients? How do I get clients? How do I get clients? And it's like, if you learn how to interact with the right people and get them to like you as a person and see kind of your light that shines, right, they're going to automatically want to work with you and they're going to stay with you for a lot longer than if you just like randomly found some person, got lucky, and then got like one client, right? So it's all about learning how to build a network and an audience of people that really like you, right? And then always learn how to like reflect Christ's love inside of your communication, right? You don't have to feel like you have this desperate energy to constantly be attacking and getting clients. You know what I mean? It's like when you really get down to the stuff, it's there's a certain level of peace you need to kind of come with. Now, that's assuming you have the right strategy. If you have the right strategies and you have the right things in place, then you have to trust that you are moving with the right in the right direction. If you don't have a strategy, you don't know what you're doing, you never sold anything before in your life, you probably need to go get some help to like learn those skill sets, right? I believe that God opens doors for us to find the information. Like for me, for example, I prayed to God to learn how to do sales, but it wasn't like it just through osmosis. Like I just learned every aspect of sales. He sent teachers into my life that helped me learn what to do. And I had to pay these teachers a lot of money. Like don't think that, you're just gonna randomly find some random guy off the street, pay him $0, and you're gonna like be a millionaire overnight. It's not like that, You have to go with faith, but do the right stuff and actually pay the price and invest in yourself, right? Now, First Peter 4 and 10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others. If you have gotten the gift of accounting, or you're learning accounting and it's coming a little bit easier to you, or it's something that you're putting in work and you're putting in, the time to do, you might as well serve others, right? And the best way that you can serve others is by charging well for the service you have. Because then if you charge well for the service you have, you'll be able to do this service as your full-time business, your full-time career, and really be able to further keep helping people over and over again. Next thing, principle two, work with excellence. So do your work with integrity and care. Now, let your work ethic be a testimony, okay? One thing I see a lot of people struggle with is the integrity and the care aspect. Like they want to run their business, but they don't really understand integrity with their business. They think, oh, I have to tell everyone the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and like tell them every single negative thing about me. Like, I've only been doing bookkeeping for 3 days. And versus my competition been doing for 3 years. So it's not like that. It's do not lie to people. Like do not lie to people purposely. That's the one thing I could say. Like you do your best and you just give an honest account of like, hey, I'm newer to this industry, but that does not mean I don't have the skills, I don't have the practice, I don't have the experience, right? I just don't have a million clients right now, but I'm gonna do the best I can, right? That's honesty. Or for me, for example, like there's certain ways you can grow your business that like takes like a shortcut. So for example, I could say, if you join my mentorship program today, you're gonna make $1 million in the next 3 days, right? That would be lying to a lot of people, right? I don't believe in lying to people about something that is really something they can't do, right? So whenever I make a promise or whenever I make something to someone, I like to under promise, right? So for me, for example, I only work with about 10 people per month in our mentorship program. Because when you start working with 20, 50, 60, 100 people at a time, the amount of attention that you can spend on a specific person drops significantly. So your result rate is going to drop relatively low, right? So I didn't want that to happen. I wanted if someone could pay me money for my mentorship program, they'd be able to get a very, very healthy result and they'd be able to kind of move. But I'm not the person that's going to promise you they're going to make $1 million overnight. Like I had a guy the other day, he was trying to join the mentorship program, but the way he kind of thought was he was asking for me essentially to lie to him. He's like, okay, so if I pay you money today, within like the next like 3 days, can I get a client? I'm like, no. He said, well, why not? Are you sure? Well, what day can I was like, I don't know exactly what day you're gonna get a client. On average, our students have done this, but for me to tell you with certainty that you're going to get a client within 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, that could be a lie. Because what happens if it takes you 8 days? What happens if it takes you 5 days? I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you something that either I cannot control or something that is not true, right? And yeah, you could probably make a lot more money by, by lying to people, but I just don't like that because one of the secrets about our business model, whether it's coaching or bookkeeping, accounting, you have to work with these people over a consistent time period. So if you lie to people in the beginning, you're just gonna be like living this lie with this person forever. That's no fun, right? So one thing Colossians 3 and 23 teaches us, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. Okay. Just do the best you can. Like just tell people the truth. You don't have to tell people every incriminating secret about you and stuff like that, but just if you make a promise, just make sure it's something that you can keep and something that is not so hard that you're never able to like really get away from it. Next thing is stay prayerful in business decisions. Now, pray before making decisions about pricing, clients, and direction. Now, no, here's an interesting thing. The more that you pray, the more that you can start to hear God's voice. Now, the thing with God's voice, this took me a very, very long time to hear this and to learn what that meant. And the only reason really in reality why I know what God's voice sounds like is because every major loss that I've had, where I lost like $60,000 in 2 weeks in the stock market one time. It's always this quiet voice in it's like for me it's like the back left side um of my head where it's like just a very passing thought or a feeling where it's like on a consultation call. The reason why I'm relatively good at handling objections is because I can hear the question that's not being asked and I know, okay, let's listen to this question that I have in my mind. I need to ask this person. And I ignored it for a long time because I just didn't know. I was like, oh, that's not a great question. That doesn't make any sense. At the end of the call, it would always be the thing that I thought I should have asked 5 minutes ago that caused the call not to sign up. And really learning how to do that, like, so letting the Holy Spirit like lead your steps is very, 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 very important. Now, the one thing I would note though is pray before you have to go inside of something. So here's one thing that a lot of mistakes that people make. So sometimes what happens is like they'll a person will pray get in front of the time to actually act on what God has put in front of them, and they say, "Oh, I need to go pray again," because they don't really trust the prayers they've built, and they're kind of trying to use God almost as a scapegoat for a lack of action and a lack of activity. That's like saying, okay, so Moses, heard from God to go and like really go in front of Pharaoh. He gets to the doors of Pharaoh. He sees everyone inside. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of armies. Oh my gosh, there's people with arrows, people with like knives and swords. Let's close the door. Sorry, God, I have to go back and pray to you again. Like you just doubted exactly what you did. Like that's not to be mean, but that would be disobedience, from what God just told Moses to do, right? So it's like if you're going to pray about something, you have to have the faith to follow through and the courage to be able to do it because almost every opportunity that God is going to put inside of your life is going to require a measurement of faith, right? Proverbs 3, 5 through 6 says, trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. So he wouldn't say trust in the Lord if everything was easy. You wouldn't need to trust in God. You wouldn't need to have faith if God told you, hey, go down to the store today, and you go down to the store and the guy automatically says, hey, here's a $1 million check. Like that would not take any faith. Of course, it's going to be a scary, mean-looking man or woman, and they're going to be mean, and they're not going to be like the easiest person to talk to. But you have to like trust that God put this person in your life for you to go and work with, right? I'm not saying that has to be you. Like, don't go to the supermarket today and say, Bryce said this person has to go to like to that this person has to work, but God told me to work. No, but I'm just saying it's not going to be the easiest thing. Like the first time I had to go charge someone $25,000 for a cleanup, that was very scary. I had never charged $25,000 before, but it wasn't necessarily in my own understanding as to would someone actually do it. I wouldn't be able to do that in my life at that time, but there's someone else that is there. So I had to trust that God put me in the right spot, gave me the right skill sets, and then I just had to lead on the understanding that, hey, if all the tools and measurements said this is the right thing to do, and God is standing with me, why can't I get that? Why can't I do that? Right? But again, I paid a lot of money to different coaches and mentors to learn these skill sets. But yeah, always start praying before things, start learning, start journaling down what you want, right? Next thing, be a good steward. Okay, principle number 4. So track your money, your time, your energy. Okay, know what your goals are. Like there's a lot of people where it's like a lot of people like they mean well, but they kind of passively go through life and not really applying all the stuff that God talks about. Like God talks about being a good steward. Like a bank does not. A bank does not operate without a plan or a pro forma. So they know from day number one exactly like what is the plan or the direction they want their business to go. Where do they want to spend their money? What are their goals? How many clients they want to have? Where do they want to go and grow their business from? Like, what is the main service they want to offer? There's a very well thought out plan. A lot of people are kind of going through life and like it's just, if it happens, it happens. As it comes, it comes. But no, people are successful. They take the energy from source, which is God. They build the skill sets they have now, and then they take the proper actions and they track the proper actions to make sure they know exactly what they're doing, and they have an account as to what do they do. I have an account for almost every single day over the last probably 3 years of what I've done every single day, like my to-do list and my action steps and my things on my little writing pad. Every day for probably I got this thing probably about 3 years ago, right? And it doesn't just happen. None of this stuff happens. If you saw me on this video, none of this stuff just happens. Like I talked to a person, she's like, "Yeah, you just showed up on my YouTube. It just kind of happens." Like, no. On my main YouTube channel, right, I have 1,500 videos that I've been posted over the last probably 3 years. It doesn't just happen. Nothing in life happens. It looks easy if you've been doing it for a while, but I'm a good steward. I'm a good steward of my YouTube business. I'm a good steward of my YouTube channels, and that leads to growth. That leads to things growing up over time and over time, you know? Next thing. So challenges are going to come, okay? There will be dry seasons, difficult clients, and doubts, but faith, consistency, and grace will carry you along the way, okay? So stay rooted in God, not in outcomes. Now, here's the challenge thing which says like stay rooted in God, but not outcomes. You have to believe that things are going to work out, but at the same time, it's like, we do have kind of like worldly bills to pay, right? So it's like we do have to kind of balance those two things. But it's more about don't have fear that you're not going to make it, right? As long as you have God, like you're not going to be on the street, you're not going to be stranded. Like you will figure it out, but you do have to kind of like put some stuff in play. But, you know, it's more about not being fearful, right? I think one of the most common phrases inside the Bible is "Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Don't be afraid," right? And that's the biggest thing we have to worry about when it comes to this business. And I'm not saying like things can't be faster, you can't grow faster, but it's more of the direction. The direction is that God is always putting you inside the right spot. Now, sometimes we might stumble, we might fall, we might, go and do the wrong thing, or we take the wrong turn, or, we get caught up in something else, right? But at the end of the day, everything kind of works out for the good of those who love the Lord, right? So just keep moving, keep trying. I want to just encourage you in that. Now, use your business as a light, okay? You're not just offering services, you're ministering through your work, right? People are observing how do you act? How do you show up? Who are you? Why are you different, right? And you never know who you're inspiring just by showing up with integrity, okay? So, I want to make sure that, you're encouraged today. I know that, some of this stuff can be a little bit harder to do. Now, if you ever want some help growing your business, like maybe you've been trying to grow for a while and it's like, God's called you to do this, but you just don't have the current skill set needed to execute on the full plan of God, this could be your sign that, hey, this is the next step in the journey for you. Get some help with someone that has similar values to you, get some help moving forward, and then let God kind of grow the rest. So if you put your part, which is learning the skill sets and doing the work, God will go and reward and put some ample amplitude on and abundance on you. Okay. So if that's you. If you want some help, click the link inside the description below the video to book a call with myself. Let's see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. So far, we've helped out about 379 people start and grow their business. I would love to see if you're going to be the next person and see how far can we go with God and you together. So just to recap and encourage, growth and faith are not separate. You can build a thriving business and honor God at the same time. Let Him lead, and your success will be built on the right foundation. Okay, awesome. So I really appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day. And hey, if you want some help, click the link inside the description. Love to see you. If not, that's okay. Right now is not. You don't always have to do everything right now, right? If you're not quite ready, that's okay. Go watch more videos. Go learn more about us. Go see if this could be a good fit for you. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy.